In the rich tapestry of Latin urban music, few names carry the depth, authenticity, and longevity of Chencho Corleone. Known for his smooth, high-pitched vocal tone and seductive lyrical delivery, Chencho has not only become one of the genre's most recognizable voices, he helped shape its very foundation. Before the global explosion of reggaeton, before Bad Bunny, J Balvin, or Karol G dominated international charts, there was Chencho, one half of the trailblazing duo Plan B. It's the story of a cultural movement. From underground mixtapes to worldwide hits, his journey is marked by persistence, raw talent, and a commitment to creative independence. Rich musical traditions and deep connection to Afro-Caribbean rhythms. Like many artists who came from the island, Chencho's upbringing was shaped by both hardship and creativity. For a young dreamer like Chencho, these influences provided both inspiration and a platform for expression. But music wasn't always a guaranteed path. Chencho, like many youth in his community, faced the reality of needing to work, to survive, and to find his identity amid social and economic pressures. What separated him, even in those early days, was his ear for melody, his love of lyrics, and a hunger to create something different. Around the early 2000s, Chencho teamed up with his cousin Edwin Vasquez Vega, better known as Maldi, to form the duo Plan B. The pair quickly became known in the underground reggaeton scene for their raw sound, explicit lyrics, and streetwise charisma. Their early releases like El Mundo de Plan B, 2002, and Los Nenes del Blin Blin were full of unfiltered stories about love, lust, betrayal, and life in Puerto Rico's neighborhoods. Chencho's unique voice, high-pitched, smooth, and emotionally charged, became the duo's secret weapon. Unlike many reggaeton acts that leaned into aggressive delivery, Chencho's sensual, almost R&B-like style made Plan B's tracks stand out. The real breakthrough came in 2010 with the release of House of Pleasure, their second studio album. The album included the smash hit Es un secreto, a track that catapulted Plan B from underground fame to international recognition. Es un secreto wasn't just a song, it was a cultural moment. Its melody was addictive, the lyrics sensual yet poetic, and Chencho's voice unforgettable. Reggaeton was evolving, and Plan B was suddenly at the center of it. A few years later, the duo released another monster hit, Fanatica Sensual, from the album Love and Sex, 2014. This song went on to become one of the biggest reggaeton hits of the decade, streaming millions of times and turning Plan B into a household name across Latin America, the US, and Spain. With these songs, Chencho proved he could bridge the underground and mainstream worlds. He wasn't just a feature artist, he was a pioneer whose style was being emulated by newer acts across the globe. By the late 2000s and 10s, as reggaeton was undergoing yet another evolution, with the rise of Latin trap and global streaming platforms, Chencho began to explore his own musical identity beyond Plan B. He wasn't leaving the duo behind entirely, but he was ready to grow. This period saw him collaborate with emerging stars and experiment with new sounds. Whether featuring on tracks with artists like Rauw Alejandro, Maluma, or even non-reggaeton acts, Chencho's voice always brought an unmistakable flavor. He launched his solo brand with a focus on more personal, refined music. Songs that stayed true to his roots but reflected his growth as an artist, man, and businessman. For nearly 2 decades, Chencho Corleone was best known as one half of Plan B, the duo that helped turn reggaeton from an underground Puerto Rican phenomenon into a global movement. But by the late 2000s and 10s, reggaeton was evolving fast. Streaming platforms, international collaborations, and genre crossovers were reshaping the soundscape. It was the perfect moment for Chencho to step out of the duo dynamic and embrace a new chapter. Embarking on a solo career wasn't just a personal move, it was a strategic one. As a respected voice and proven hitmaker, Chencho had all the tools to reinvent himself in a new era of Latin music. And that's exactly what he did. Although Plan B had always allowed both members to show individuality, the duo format limited how much personal storytelling or experimental direction Chencho could pursue. He took time to curate his sound, refine his brand, and carefully select collaborations that aligned with his vision. Rather than flood the market with singles, he leaned into exclusivity and mystery, releasing just enough to keep fans hooked while building anticipation. Perhaps the defining moment of Chencho's solo resurgence came with Mi Porto Bonito, a track featured on Bad Bunny's Grammy-winning album, Un Verano Sin Ti. The song instantly went viral, thanks in no small part to Chencho's signature vocals and seductive cadence. The track was more than a hit, it was a cultural reset. The song topped charts across Latin America, the US, and Europe. It became the most streamed Latin song on Spotify in 2022 and one of the most played songs on TikTok that year. For many Gen Z fans unfamiliar with Plan B, Mi Porto Bonito was their introduction to Chencho Corleone, and he made a lasting impression. Before his collab with Bad Bunny, Chencho had already made noise with the sensual anthem El Efecto, a collaboration with rising star Rauw Alejandro. This track blended classic reggaeton vibes with a modern, trap-influenced beat, and Chencho's vocals stood out as both nostalgic and fresh. El Efecto became a club favorite, streaming magnet, and reminder that Chencho had staying power. Going solo also allowed Chencho to develop his business side. He launched Chencho Records, a boutique label focused on nurturing talent and maintaining artistic independence. He's also expressed interest in film, fashion, and creative direction, hinting at future expansion into multimedia projects. Chencho's careful handling of his image, mysterious, reserved, and focused, has turned him into a rare figure in Latin music, an artist who values quality over quantity, mystery over media saturation. Chencho Corleone, with his outstanding talent, has become an icon in the Latin urban music scene. He is a versatile artist in many roles, from composer, producer to singer. With impressive hits such as Si no le contesto, Es un secreto, Fanática Central, Guatauba, he has achieved great success and contributed to creating classic works for the reggaeton genre. Chencho Corleone's commitment to constant musical creativity and evolution did not stop at the new stage. He became the main character in the successes of that musical stage, and at the same time affirmed his importance in the music industry. With his collaboration with Rauw Alejandro on the song Desesperados, Chencho Corleone was certified 9 times platinum by the RIAA and nominated for 2 Latin Grammy Awards. The song quickly climbed to #1 on Billboard's Latin Airplay chart in the US. Chencho Corleone's musical dominance continued on the charts in 2022 with the success of Mi Porto Bonito, featuring Bad Bunny, from the historic Un Verano Sin Ti album. Mi Porto Bonito also received a Grammy nomination. It is the only song entirely in Spanish to reach #9 on the Billboard Streaming Songs chart in its entire 9-year run. It was the streaming platform where listeners could choose what they wanted to hear and create their own playlists. This is part of the development and has helped this genre gain an important position by inspiring many people to use rhythm, language, melody, and theme, and becoming a favorite genre for many generations. Thanks for watching.